Hey, what's up ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Beaky and time for another episode of Buff, Marry, or Nerf. If you've never played this game before with me, well, sit back, relax, let me tell you the rules. Yes guys, we'll be going through all the attributes in the game and picking some cards from a specific attribute in episodes to buff, to marry, or nerf. When I say buff, well, it needs improvement. That card needs to become stronger. To marry, I mean a card that you just think is so balanced and perfect that you want to give it the ring. You want to be like, you're mine forever. Or the card that's just been your pain, your backside, where you want to be like, this card needs to get nerfed immediately. So let's have some fun and discuss these cards right now for the endurance attributes. If you haven't seen the other videos related to this for willpower or for the dual attributes, links in the description to see those videos as well. Let's get into the game real quick and I'll explain to you why I actually picked endurance for today. Well, as you guys are about to see right now, I was actually playing a scout deck. I just felt like, you know what, I want to play a non-dragon focused scout deck and I want to play it in rank. So this deck, that's what I took online to do that. And as you guys will see, against other scout decks, it's not the best thing in the world, but it made me think for a moment. There are a lot of cards in endurance I wish I played more, and that's what made this episode today happen. And today we're going to focus on two cards to buff, and then we're going to go into the card to marry, and then we're going to go into the card to nerf. So what card firstly do I want to go ahead and buff? It's going to be an Argonian. Oh my goodness, this Argonian has not gotten much love these days outside of Arena. It is, bam, Black Rose Herbalist. Now in concept, this ability is so damn good, guys. At the start of your turn, heal another random friendly creature. You know, there's lots of decks out there that would take a lot of advantage from this, especially if you're playing like Pyromancer in your own deck where you might have to hurt your own creature and they get healed. If you're playing with the big old giant, that could work out really well. So there's, you know, there's lots of ways to heal creatures in this game, but we don't get to see it played very much these days just because this game doesn't seem to be really focused around that concept. And I think one of the reasons why this card specifically doesn't get played all that much is the fact that there are so many other 3-drops in endurance that just makes more sense of play. If you think about a card like Dark Guardian, which is a 2/5 for 3 magic with guard, and its ability that when your opponent gets a rune broken, if they get a prophecy, you get to draw a free card. Like Dark Dragon makes this just like, I'm not gonna put something like this in my deck. Like, no. But I think if you actually went ahead and at least give this card a little bit more help, it would definitely help out, because at least then it will become a 2/5 and it won't be susceptible to lightning bolts and things like this. I just really wish there was a real reason to really want to go ahead and play regenerate and heal more in this game, especially for the endurance attribute. And I hope the developers addresses that sooner or later in the future to encourage us to do that type of stuff more often. Because think about all the regenerated creatures out there and how few of them you actually go ahead and play. So that was just my thought about that, and the whole entire thing with the healing as well, healing the creature using the items that do that in endurance as well. So next card is one that's going to be a little bit weird to go ahead and buff. It is a support this time. It's High Hoggaroth. We all know this from Skyrim. It is a unique location, so I think that's why the developers went ahead and made it a unique card in this case. Yes, I would love to see this card have multiple copies and not be a unique card. That would be my ideal situation for this card. Now let me try to explain what I'm saying here, guys. I think this card has the biggest downfall it could possibly have for what it does. It makes your big Percaluses or big high guard creatures like Dark Guardian get good attack, but there's only one of it in your deck, so you have to draw it first of all, so that's already hard. Then you finally draw the card because maybe you're playing a deck that has a bunch of drawing, and you play it and it gets removed by all the different support removals in the game. And especially last month with the addition of Archer, the new monthly reward card that's in red that now removes supports as well, it makes it even harder to get a lot of value out of this card. So I'm like, it's very hard to justify playing a card like this where you definitely go ahead and play stuff like East Empire Crafter, where she has the ability to turn creatures into guards and then give them +1/1. It's not as powerful as this, but it's still something nice And you would want to combo it maybe even with High Hoggroth, but then again, it usually doesn't work out because this card gets removed as soon as it gets played. And I feel like if there was a way to get 3 copies of this, it would just make it so much more playable in my deck overall. That's just my idea right there, guys. I don't know how the developers would want to address this. I don't even think reducing the cost is what a card like this needs. Because if you reduce the cost, let's say even you reduce the cost of this to 2, like crazy. It's 2, and you get it early, awesome, but you know it's going to get removed, and then your whole entire deck strategy usually built around turning those guard creatures, make them pretty strong, is basically done. The only other thing you can really do with it is hopefully you get Ring of Imaginary Might and then use that, but Ring of Imaginary Might on its own is a 4 magical card as well, so a lot of the cards that do the effect of turning health into power are kind of costly, so it's like it's a tricky balancing act with the whole entire thing, and I don't really know what the proper way to make us play more decks feature this card would be. But it's just something I want to throw out there that it's a card I think I need some type of buff, and I'm not a game developer, so I would have to leave it to the game developer or the rest of the community to really decide how to do that. So that's my 2 cards to buff for today, and let's talk about the card that I think is just perfect. And it actually is a dragon, even though the card that I want to nerf is a dragon too. Well, I think this card is perfect, guys. Let's just think about it. It is a 7/7 Magicka legendary card. It's unique, and your opponents cannot target it with an action. And when I first saw this card, I was like, wow, this is unbelievable. I just thought this card was like so balanced for what it does, because it's unique, you can't have multiple copies of it, right? You also use Soul Tear and other things to bring it back from the graveyard, but we don't even see that being done all too much these days anymore, but still, it's an option if you want to. And it doesn't cost too much, it doesn't cost too little, it has stats that are really powerful, and it's a good guard because now people can't target it with actions directly, but you can hit with Ice Storm, but it doesn't have so much health that you can't trade with it if you have enough creatures on the field already by the time it hits the floor. So there's been plenty of times my opponent would play this and I already have enough creatures in a Pacific lane that I could go ahead right away and actually take care of it. Yes, it sucks that I have to maybe trade with 2 or 3 creatures to get rid of this one big creature, but I think because it's a legendary and it's a unique, I think it makes sense for something like this to be that powerful for what it does. I'm kind of okay with a card like this, so I'm thinking this is probably one of the most marry-worthy cards in Endurance. This is my personal opinion right there. Alright guys, so let's go ahead with the card that weirdly enough is a dragon, and I think needs to look at. I'm not gonna say a big nerf, I just think it needs to a look at because of the way the game is played right now. It is Spine of the Elder Blood. This rare card. Now hear me out here. Hear me out on Spine of the Elder Blood. A lot of the other ramp cards in this game have drawbacks, and usually pretty nice drawbacks that make them feel a little bit fair. As this is kind of why I wanted to show you guys the match that I'm playing right now. And you guys are going to be able to watch a whole entire match even after I finish talking about everything. You guys are going to see me use a whole lot of ramp cards. Like, you know, I'm ramping magic and all that stuff. And those ramp cards I'm playing, like, you know, His Robe, there is kind of a downfall of playing those cards. You get yourself, like, fairly open. You know, there's a support. They could be removed. You know, if you don't have a Magicka to play a creature along with it, you're going to be in big trouble during, you know, that time you're going to do that. So here's where I'm like, Spine of the Elder Blood, you drop this on the field, you gain 1 Magicka, and that is a 6/6 body for 6 Magicka. Like, already 6 Magicka with 6/6 is pretty damn good, and you gain Magicka, like it's a summon effect. I'm like, there's not really, I feel like there's no downfall for the Magicka cost for playing this. And this is something weird that I'm saying right now. It's like, on its own, it's not bad. On its own, it's fine. It's okay that certain cards are more powerful than others. That's why I'm saying this is like a weird thing for me to complain on. Because overall, I'm okay when, like, you know, one card is just overall better than another card. It happens. But with all the other ramp cards, with the way Ramp Scout plays in general, or Warrior decks that play ramp, I feel like this has become such a key card in many of them, and it just has no real weakness. There's just like no weakness to this card that maybe it should be 6/5. Like, you know, I feel like it should have a little bit less health for what it's doing when it hits the board with its big impact. Just my personal opinion right there. Just my personal opinion. Agree with me if you want to agree with me. Disagree, please just let me know, guys. So yeah, those are my choices. I'm pretty sure people are going to pick some other cards for their Nerf card, but that's just me picking because I've been playing a whole lot of Scout decks, versing a whole lot of Scout decks recently. As you guys see with the win ratio for this deck, it's 62 out of 8 matches. Well, out of all the matches I've had with this deck, basically 5 of those were scout decks, and they were using dragon decks featuring a card like Spine of the Elder Blood. And I'm just seeing like this card is becoming just a really big annoyance for me. Like it bumps magic and everything, and it becomes a problem because of how big of a body it can be. But yeah, there you go, guys. This has been Beaky here with the Untitled Game Show. Showed you guys a quick little video of a match we had some fun in. Came back, kind of got lucky there. But that's Scout sometimes. Play the long game and you get lucky and your opponent doesn't even want to see the rest of the match. They just forfeit right away. So let me know, guys, which cards would you guys go ahead and buff, marry, or nerf? So once again, if anybody for some reason skipped to the end of the video, here are my cards. I definitely want to see this card buffed. I definitely want to see this card get a ring. I don't even know. Get a ring. And of course, Black Rose Herbalist. This card needs some love, man. Herbalist needs some type of love so that we play this card. I think most people can at least agree with me on that one, that this card needs to be played more and something needs to be done to make it get played more. Or in general, cards that heal other creatures. Because even with the newer edition of cards that do it, I still don't see them get played as much in rank or even in casuals. Usually these cards are very much what you see in arena, and even then they don't get their effect used the whole that much overall. So maybe the card itself needs to be buffed. I'm out of here, guys. Till next time, peace out. Like if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, and this video is brought to you for your pleasure, ad-free. Yes, guys, a lot of my videos going forward, it's just going to go ad-free. I'm not making money on them anyways. YouTube claims them. So, ad-free, no ads. Just doing Legends content because I enjoy it. If you want to support, there is ways to do it, but that's up to you. There's no ad on it, so enjoy. Later.